Hi there, how are we? Today I want to do a little video on how you should never ever allow the opinions or the thoughts or the words of one or two people on earth to determine for you who you are, who you're not, what you can have, what you can't have, what you can be, what you can do, what you can't do, what your dreams should be, what dreams you can or can't have, because there are 7.9 billion people on planet Earth, and the views and the opinions of a few do not make that true. The views and opinions of one or two people on planet Earth do not reflect the reality or the generalization of 7.9 billion people. Now, yesterday I was just scrolling through Facebook. I was laying in bed and I was looking at Facebook and going through those Facebook videos. And there was this video that came up and it actually broke my heart. It took my breath away and I genuinely had a tear come in my eye. And it was this young girl, younger than me, saying how she basically had an alcoholic father who was very cruel to her growing up. And basically the one memory, the one word that had stuck with her was that he had said to her, no one will ever love you, and no one will ever want you, and no one will ever want to be with you. And this kind of stuck with her for a long time. And later on, she did actually have the courage to go out and get herself a boyfriend. She got herself a partner. And she ended up having a bad experience in this relationship. And as the relationship ended, this person said to her, no one's ever going to love you. No one's ever going to want you. And she then came onto this video and basically had completely accepted this and said, this is the reality. This has happened to me twice now. So I am vowing today to never ever enter a relationship ever again. I am not born to be wanted by anyone. I will never be wanted by anyone. And so I am never going to go out there and look for love. And the way that she told the story, it literally sucker punched me so hard in the stomach, I couldn't breathe. I wanted to literally stick my hands through the screen and give this woman a hug, but also tell her that the words and the opinions and the couple of experiences that we have in our lives are so minimal compared to the size of the world. I know that these things absolutely consume us. They take over us. They make us feel like our whole world is crashing to an end. I know it is real, and I'm absolutely not minimizing any kind of trauma or bad experience that anyone has been through. But as somebody who's been through trauma, as somebody who's been through bad experiences, and as somebody who's read the psychology on this, we have to remember, we have to remind ourselves when we're going through these times where we're convincing ourselves that, we will never make anything of ourselves because somebody said that we can't have a business because someone in our family who's close to us doubted us and said, you will never make it. We think that we're too fat to run a marathon. We think that no one will ever love our work if we become a writer, that no one will publish our book, that no one's going to like our singing, that we're never going to be able to learn how to dance, that we'll never learn how to play that machine, that no one's ever going to think that we're beautiful. We have to remind ourselves that there are 7.9 billion people out there. I guarantee you, right, this is basic math, right? I guarantee you, yes, out of those people, some of them are going to have that opinion. But out of 7.9 billion people, I guarantee you that there will also be people that think you are the most beautiful person on earth. There will be people that love your writing, as well as there being people that don't. There will be people that think you're an incredible dancer, that love your music, that love your business idea, that want to buy your product, that want to buy your thing, that think that you're the best coach in the world. Whatever it might be that you have, there are going to be people out there that don't love it and that do love it. And the only way you can possibly get to the point where you realize that the words and the opinions and those smaller experiences that you had over here from a couple of people are just a couple of people and are not the generic and the reality of the 7.9 billion other people on planet Earth, right? And you move to that place where you have the courage to try anyway, you will not be able to succeed. You will not get the reward of actually succeeding. Now, I want to actually just bring this home with like a little theory. Some of you may have heard of it's an old philosopher called Arthur Schopenhauer. And he basically says that kind of any truth goes through 3 stages. So, whether it's you wanted to start a business, but somebody told you you'd never make it. You wanted to write a book, but somebody said no one would ever publish you. Maybe you want to find love, but you're convinced because of what some nasty idiot said to you once upon a time that no one will fall in love with you, whatever it might be. It goes through 3 stages. So the first thing he says that at first you are ridiculed. The first stage of moving through truth is ridicule. So that's when people are like, don't be silly. Like I remember when I went to start my business and people I loved were like, you're a gypsy. Funny. I remember when I said I wanted to try and run a triathlon, right? I was a bit overweight at the time. I liked a lot of wine, a bit too much. And I remember people laughed at me. My friends laughed at me. They were like, don't be stupid. You're never going to do that. And this is what happens with so many things is we get ridiculed at first because people kind of can't believe something that isn't yet in front of them. It's hard for people who are not future oriented in their mindset to see something that doesn't yet exist. And so to them, they're not actually laughing at you. They're laughing at the complete disbelief that something that isn't that yet here is even possible. So it's not about you. It's just about their ability, or rather inability, to be able to conceive something that isn't yet conceived. So the second stage of truth, according to Arthur Schopenhauer, is once it's ridiculed, the next stage is it is violently opposed. So this is where you're kind of like, okay, I've been laughed at, I've been mocked about my new business idea or creating my book or learning this instrument or going out here to do this particular thing I want to do. I've been mocked, but I'm still determined. I still want to do this thing. There's still a fire in my belly to go and do this particular thing. This is when particularly those closest to you who wrap it up in that I care about you and I love you will start to tell you all the reasons why it won't work. It is violently opposed. This is the second stage. So they will say, well, you can't do this and this. Or what if you do that and then you drop this ball? This is too risky. You'll never make it because we can't afford it. There's not enough time. You're too young. You're too old. By the way, you're probably also doing this to yourself. Right? So this like violent opposition comes in. And when this is coming from loved ones, usually this is because they care about us, right? They're so afraid of seeing us fail and seeing us hurt that they're trying their best to protect us from any kind of pain. And what they're actually doing is holding us back from our dreams. They're holding us back from the opportunity of succeeding. And so please don't be mad at them, right? Because generally speaking, they do just genuinely care. So let's not be mad when people are kind of saying it's not going to work. It's usually coming from a place of love. And if it's coming from a place of disrespect, well, you can do that, don't you? Right? Do it anyway. Does that person's opinion matter if they don't care about us? Of course it doesn't, because there are 7.9 billion other people who do want you to succeed, all right? Who do want you to do that, who may be your future customers or lover or partner or cheerer on at the marathon or whatever it is that you're going for. So the third stage of truth, according to Arthur Schopenhauer, is that it is accepted as evident. Success is accepted as evidence. So if you can be courageous enough and brave enough to move through stage 1 of being ridiculed and to move through stage 2 of having your idea or your thing or your mission violently opposed, you will give yourself 100% chance of succeeding. In fact, it's the only way you can get to succeeding, because if you don't have the courage to push through the ridicule and the opposition, you can't get to the third stage, which is success. And here's the really interesting thing about success is as soon as you have it, as soon as you've done it, let's say you lost the weight and you did that marathon and you completed it. Let's say you published that book and people have actually bought it. You created that course and people are enrolling in it. You started that business and it's actually making some money. You went out on a date and you've actually found someone that you really like. Okay, like you do these things. All of a sudden, the success is there. And all the people that ridiculed you and opposed your idea in stages 1 and 2 usually don't even remember that they doubted you, because now they see the result and they're like, oh, my friend, my sister, my partner, my lover, my child, my wife, my husband, my cousin, whatever it is, whoever it is, has this thing. She's got her own business. She's got this great partner. She did this marathon, right? And they usually become your biggest fans and show off about the success that you had. Or they just shut up, right? They just love it and stop judging you from that point onwards. But that's the third stage, is it now exists. So it's just accepted as self-evident. You are the writer, you are the musician, you are the business owner, you are that person that goes out and does what they say they're going to do. That is how success works. But the second you allow the judgment, the ridicule, the opposition of anyone to come and seep into your mind and to convince you that you can't have that or you don't deserve that, the second you allow somebody else's opinions or words or an experience that you've had go into your heart and your soul and stop you from trying, is the second you cease to have any chance whatsoever of it happening for you. And you cannot allow anyone in your life to dictate for you who you are, what you can have, what you can't have, what you can do, who you can be, what dreams you can fulfill or chase or go after in your life. You are the only person that gets to live your life. And yes, you will get some bumps and scrapes along the way. Yes, you are going to fail sometimes, right? There's no such thing as like a perfect journey to success. It doesn't happen, right? The most successful people in the world have the most scars and bruises and scratches, right? They also have the best beer stories, definitely. But only you can gift yourself the opportunity of success by gifting yourself the courage to move through those first two phases of being opposed, of being ridiculed, of being trolled, of being criticized, of being judged. But that is all it is. And sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me actually has a great deal of truth when it comes to this particular part of striving for what you want in your life. Because words are just words and they sting. I am an absolute people pleaser, trust me. I get really hurt when people say poo-poo things about me, but they are just words. And somebody calling me a poo-poo head still doesn't change whether I have a desire or an ambition for a certain thing in my life, a certain experience or a certain outcome. And them calling me a poo-poo head and thinking that I'm silly or that I'm daft doesn't change the fact that I deserve to have that thing and have every right to try and go for it, just like you. So whatever it is that you're dreaming of, whatever it is that you want for you, for yourself, and for your life, please remember that what a few people have said to you or may say to you, and likely will say to you, the more you put that dream, that idea, that goal, that wish out there, please do not let other people, a few people's words, put you off having what you want to have and being who you can be. Because there are so many other people out there who will want you to do that, who will be pleased for you when you have that, who will want to buy it from you, be with you, celebrate with you, engage in that thing with you. When you create not just for yourself, but for others. And there are people out there who would just celebrate every single second of it. So have courage, believe in yourself, let go of the words of others, let it just come as information that's interesting. Everyone's allowed their own opinions, but please keep going for your dreams no matter what's been said. And you will get there if you just have the courage to move through those 3 phases into your success destination. Good luck. I'm cheering you on. Bye for now.